Hi again, Irrelevant person here. So if you guys have been on Twitter or just around on the YouTube sphere in general, you would have known that some really crazy stuff went down. Earlier today, I tweeted that I was going to be exposing a scumbag in today's video. And if you couldn't tell by the title, that scumbag is Jacksfilms. Now, I know PewDiePie already uploaded a video on this situation talking about how Jacksfilms has been stealing his content, but I just wanted to throw my 2 cents into the ring, you know? So yesterday, PewDiePie uploaded a video and he exposed Jacksfilms for stealing his content. And this has been going on for months, and PewDiePie has known about it the whole time. But he's been holding back calling out Jacksfilms because he knows what he could do to him if he unleashes the full might of his army against Jack. He's just that nice of a guy. So anyways, PewDiePie has this series called Why, otherwise known as Last Week I Asked You. And this shill, Jacksfilms, has a ripoff series named Yai, or Yesterday I Asked You. It's clearly an absolute ripoff, and Jack doesn't even try to hide this fact. He is fully aware of it, but he keeps making these videos regardless of that. And he had the gall, the nerve to make this tweet. But before we look into what Jacksfilms has been doing recently in regards to this situation, let's hop into PewDiePie's video and give it a quick run through. He only talks about this situation for like the first 3 minutes of the video, so we can ram through this one pretty quick.
Before this video begins, I have to tell you guys something that's kind of been going on behind the scenes for a while. I haven't really wanting to address it, just hoping that it would go away.
Pewds is trying to be the bigger man here. You can see the strain and the stress he's putting himself through just to spare Jacksfilms. This shouldn't be a situation he has to find himself in, and even though he is in it, he still stays humble, and he's trying to be responsible with his power by not unleashing the full fury of it on a YouTuber who's smaller than him, even if they are a fucking scumbag.
I saw Jacksfilms tweeted, Yai is better than Lawai. Don't at me. And that was kind of like the last straw for me. Jacksfilms has been copying me and my show for literally weeks now, and I know it's usually like a joke, like, oh, ha ha ha, you copied me or whatever, but it's gone too far.
It's really sad seeing what PewDiePie has to put up with. When it was a Let's Play channel, he had to deal with the fact that he was a new genre on this website, and that he was the pioneer of that, and that he was getting backlash. Nowadays, that kind of stuff is accepted as a part of YouTube, and as a part of modern culture, and he's worked so hard to get where he is. And what does this man get in return? What does this beautiful Swede get in return for his hard work? He gets leeched off of by irrelevant nobodies, and he demonstrates this very clearly. He systematically deconstructs in every way how Jacksfilms has been copying him from his video ideas.
I made this.
It's time for me to review your submissions. I asked you to Photoshop these pictures. Now I'm going to review them.
Like a really fun original idea. And then just like day after, this guy, a nobody YouTuber, B grade tops.
I tweeted out some pictures of me holding up a blank sheet of paper, and I let you guys do whatever you wanted to them.
And it's like, fine, you know what, one time.
The use of the term and calling his audience squad fam. Fam squad.
I'm not gonna comment about that, but then I did this.
What's up, squad fam?
That's right. Squad fam. I started calling you guys squad fam as like a fun original idea that I came up with myself. And then of course,
What's happening, squad fam? Fam squad? What's up, squad fam?
he just rips it off.
How he's stealing even more video ideas and thumbnails.
I do this, right?
I asked you to make a thumbnail for this video.
Of course. Of course, later.
I asked you to make me a thumbnail for this video.
How did you come up with that idea, Jack? How did you come up with that idea?
Even the intro song to their respective series. Jacksfilms even stole the intro song from the Y and used it in Yai. He couldn't even be original with his music.
And then he even like has the same intro.
I'll pick my favorites in the next episode of Yai.
He dares to call me out on his channel. I had the integrity so far.
By the way, have you seen PewDiePie's new intro? May I show it to you?
Leave your entries in the subreddit pros, and I'll watch submissions in the next episode of Why.
Who does Jacksfilms think he is? He claims to have the better series when he's just a second-rate copycat. He calls out PewDiePie in his videos for copying him when he is the one copying PewDiePie, and he keeps egging Felix on when he's trying so hard to hold back for Jack's sake. He's a leech, unappreciative, and most of all, a fraud. Jacksfilms also thought he would be clever if he took shots at PewDiePie on Twitter. This guy in his smug mug, he thinks he's so cool, thinks he can take on the biggest YouTuber, cause oh, I got 3 million. This tweet was his initial response to PewDiePie's video. This absolute mother motherfucker. On my word, okay, PewDiePie. I'll see you on Monday with a big fat response. The nerve of this man's mouth. But that's not even where this shit ends. Afterwards, he followed that tweet up with this tweet. Oh Jesus, people think this is real. Pewds, what have you done? He's trying to play this entire thing off like it's some kind of joke just to save his own skin. He can't even take responsibility for his own mistakes. And he's shifting the blame to PewDiePie to try and save his own skin just because he's finally being called out for being a video stealing hack. And he kept going on, kept tweeting about the situation, trying to make the most from it, trying to squeeze as many views out of this as he could. So today I learned that sarcasm is very hard to convey, even on video. He's still trying to play off this entire thing as a joke. Like I said, he's dodging responsibility. He doesn't like being called out, he doesn't like being held responsible for doing shitty things, and the only reason he's backtracking now from his original statement is because he got caught. In fact, he's been caught, but PewDiePie let it slide trying to be the bigger man, even though he didn't have to. Jacksfilms then tweeted this piece of garbage. My official apology to PewDiePie and his fans for stealing his content will be up in a few hours. 1 retweet equals 1 forgive. I'm so sorry. Now he's mocking PewDiePie fans. I'm so sorry. He's not sorry. The apology is clearly a sham in an attempt to manipulate his and PewDiePie's audience into thinking that he's the victim in this situation. Not the person who had their content stolen, but him, the person who's getting called out for stealing content. Here's how I predict his apology is gonna go. It's gonna be dishonest, he's gonna make up some story about it, and he's not gonna take any responsibility for it, just like he's been dodging responsibility through this entire situation. I said it once, I'll say it again. He's only apologizing because he got caught and he got called out. But finally, we do have his response. And you know what? Maybe I was wrong about Jacksfilms. Maybe in his response, his apology, he'll take responsibility for his actions, he'll own up to what he's done wrong and try to improve from this point onward. Wrong! He spends the beginning of the video making up some bullshit story about him copying PewDiePie and vice versa, some running gag between him and PewDiePie. It's an obvious lie and we can all see right through it.
In February of 2015, I uploaded the first episode of Yai. Yesterday, I asked you. Fast forward to 3 years later, we're now almost at episode 400. That's almost 500. Now PewDiePie, in June of 2017, last year, uploaded the first episode of what would become Luai. Last week, I asked you.
Oh my god. It's even worse than I thought. Jacksfilms not only copied PewDiePie outright, but he knew that Luai would be such a successful series that he stole the idea for the series, went back in time to 2015, and made his own version of it, Yai, before PewDiePie would have even thought of Luai. He's a menace. This runs so much deeper than I thought it did. He made his own version and went back in time just to profit off of PewDiePie's ideas. It's disgusting. It's deplorable.
And Luai has become a very tongue-in-cheek, obvious parody of Yai. It's not copying Yai, it's its own thing, it's a parody of Yai. And frankly, I think it's super cool that the #1 most subscribed YouTuber in the world is doing a parody of my stupid little Yai series.
I think that it's not cool that you're still pretending this is some kind of joke. You disgust me like nothing else does, Jacksfilms. Not even as much as the syrup sandwich did that I made for that net neutrality video like a month ago. It tasted pretty good too when I ate it, not gonna lie. But you think you can leech off of the biggest YouTuber and pass it off like he's parodying you? Who do you think you are? He wouldn't waste his time on an urchin like you if you weren't a thief. And he tried his best to avoid this just to avoid the conflict. One that he knew he would win, but he wanted to save you the stress of dealing with it.
Now over time, the two of us kind of had this little feud going on between Luai and Yai. For example, I wrote the Yai theme song back in June of 2015. So then PewDiePie, in November of 2017, incorporates a very obvious parody of my song into his videos, a parody that was lovingly created by YouTuber Day by Dave.
I can't believe he's still going. He's still going. How long will this absolute scumbag charade last? This is awful. I don't know how he's gotten away with this for so long.
So here's where the trouble started. Today, PewDiePie uploaded a video called Stealing My Content, and it opens with his usual dry sarcasm. You know, he claims that I stole all of his stuff. It's nothing he hasn't said before. I pick up on the sarcasm. I love it. I tweet out like, oh, you motherfucker, because I love perpetuating this fake little feud we have between Luai and Yai. It's a fun little gag.
So Jacksfilms admits that he knew he was copying PewDiePie, and he knew that PewDiePie knew that he knew that he was copying PewDiePie, and that PewDiePie was letting Jacksfilms copying PewDiePie slide for Jacksfilms' sake. But he still didn't learn respect or humility in the face of that, and he made a tweet saying that Yai was better than Luai, which it's not, by the way.
Unfortunately, not everyone picked up on PewDiePie's sarcasm, and some people thought he was being serious. My Twitter mentions blew up. I got dislike bombed on my latest Yai because it's the most accessible video right now to newcomers.
The good people dislike bombing Jacksfilms are the true heroes. The ones fighting for what's right. The ones fighting for justice.
And see, that's the problem. When you have 60 million subscribers, it's statistically inevitable that some of them are gonna be real dumb. So today's episode of Your Grammar Sucks is dedicated to the dummies.
And he calls PewDiePie fans dumb because of his own art theft and because he is an idea stealer. He just can't wrap his head around this, can he? He can't think of his own original ideas, so he steals them from other, more successful YouTubers, and he makes fun of people for his content like in Your Grammar Sucks. I would never make content that's at the expense of someone else, ever. And then he spends the rest of the video mocking and making fun of people who just want to see PewDiePie credited correctly, who just want to see the person who came up with that idea originally see the justice that he deserves. Jacksfilms doesn't even apologize. He just mocks people during the entire video. I've known about Jacksfilms for a while and I always knew there was something off about him. I just didn't realize how bad it was until PewDiePie really showed the full extent of how Jacksfilms has been copying him. It's just really infuriating to think that there's people like Jacksfilms out there. And you know what? Through all of this, PewDiePie even retweeted Jacksfilms' video because he's the bigger man and he still tries to support people even when they're against him. And you know what? The worst part about this to me isn't even the fact that Jacksfilms is stealing content or the fact that he's constantly deflecting the blame and that he won't own up to it, that he's playing the victim. That's not the worst part. It's not the fact that PewDiePie has been suffering through his ideas being stolen by Jacksfilms time and time again, not saying anything about it just so Jack doesn't have to deal with that kind of backlash, even though he deserves it. No, the worst part about this situation to me is that Jacksfilms isn't even the only one who's been stealing PewDiePie's content. Who else is stealing PewDiePie's content, you might ask? Believe me, this was a shock to me as well. The needle drop. Anthony Fantano, of all people, he stole video ideas from PewDiePie. He stole the meme review series from PewDiePie and claimed it as his own. The only difference here between him and Jacksfilms is that Anthony Fantano, the internet's slimiest music nerd, saw some justice. Even though it was self-inflicted, that is the plan. The channel that Anthony Fantano was uploading these stolen video ideas to got deactivated by him, and that's about as close to justice as Anthony Fantano got. Do these people have no shame? Their careers are based off of leeching from others. Their legacies will be forever marred by their actions in these recent months. They're just not thinking about how this is going to affect them. And PewDiePie, who's worked so hard to build up his fan base of 60 million subscribers, who's helped build this website YouTube to the absolute behemoth that it is today, the thanks that he gets from other creators whose careers might not even exist without him is to get leached off of and stolen from. I would never make fun of other people for content, or leech off of, or use a slightly altered version of someone else's already established format. Never, and I'm most certainly not doing that right now. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. Today, we actually hit 1.6K. We hit 1.5K like 4 days ago, so thank you guys so much for that. In case you couldn't tell, this entire video was a joke. The Jacksfilms PewDiePie beef is a total joke as well. It's a running gag, and Lawai is a parody of Yai. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I will see you guys next time.